Okay, I think we are recording. So today is September 20th, 2023, and it is a very short DAO call probably. It's just Jesse and I in here and Lahum in the audience. So some of our other team members are busy right now with some projects building things in the back end stuff we've been working on that we'll update on in a few seconds. So yeah, it's just Jesse and I today for Effect Out. So I'll let you start with some updates, Jesse.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's a quiet DAO call, but that's totally fine. We can keep it short. I also have to keep it short anyways because I have to leave before 5:30 my time, which is in 20 minutes. But let's at least do an update. So we have that on the recording. Like I would definitely like to highlight a few things that we're working on. Because I need like 1 second. I have this annoying push to talk feature that I need to use in Discord for my mic, but I'll be back in 5 seconds to set this better.
5, 4, 3,
All right,
2,
I'm back. That
1.
was quicker than
Ah.
5 seconds. Cool. Let's see. Yeah, let's maybe the usual flow for DAO calls is to look at the proposals that are there. I don't think there's any proposals currently active, and there is none in processing either. So yeah, let's see if something pops up. Like always, just a reminder that it's often empty cycles are a good moment to post a proposal that you have because it's been a bit quiet. So I don't think from my side any proposals will be coming up. I'll be doing an update like in this call as well, what we're working on, and maybe later on there will be some proposals rolling out of those decisions. But for anyone else, it's a good time now to post a proposal within the next 2 days before the cycle starts. But then we can just roll into like a quick update on the development and marketing and project side. We're working pretty hard right now on the development of the Effect Network 2. It's going to be a pretty like significant update. We discussed in the last week's call already like a lot of the philosophy behind it and like the idea and the elements involved. So we won't repeat all of that, but it's definitely worth listening into the last episode if you're interested to in case you missed it, to hear more about everything behind Effect Network 2 and why we're doing that and the elements that are part of it. But what we're mainly working on now that's sort of new in the last week is that we've been working out the first version of the mobile app and the front end, like the interface for the worker portal. So like where you can see all the campaigns, where you can do tasks, do your qualifications. We've been doing a lot of like research and development on all the qualifications people will be able to earn. We've like Rochelle is very experienced when it comes to qualifications and Amazon Mechanical Turk and a lot of the other platforms that people work on. And we want to make sure we get like the same flow that people are used to, but also to be slightly superior when it comes to these platforms, especially Amazon Mechanical Turk, where it can, for example, be extremely expensive and unreliable what kind of qualifications people have. So we've been writing out all those qualifiers that will be part of the new Effect force and make sure that the user flow is going to be very natural. So when you register for the first time as a newcomer, it should be kind of natural what you have to do. Right now, that's not really the case, right? You kind of get thrown into this list, and people always struggle a little bit where to start. So we're already working on that segment where we want to have like the perfect sort of guidance for users that are new, but at the same time, we want like master workers from Enter to feel at home as well. So when they create their account and they're used to like microtasking and a more professional or like a larger skill, that they will feel right at home. Like, what are the qualifications I can do? What kind of tasks will I be able to do when I do them? There's been a lot of like, it's kind of eventful in the mTOR world. So there is definitely some opportunity for us to get requesters and workers from that side accustomed to our platform. And then hopefully if they like what's going on, that will allow us to really grow sort of the core worker and requester base as well. So it's important we get that onboarding done right. Another part that we're working on is that we're working on a network. Like it's basically an addition to the effect relayer network that's going to allow us to offer free transactions for workers, so that you don't need to bother with getting like EOS, RAM, net, and CPU in order to perform tasks. That will be completely like offered for free for workers that are performing like well. It's going to be in addition to the current relayer network. We've like already done the beginning of the development there, and it shouldn't be too much work to get it live. And a really important addition is that we're going to make it free for people to create an EOS account. This is kind of the important new feature that we've like found a solution to. It's that if you want to register as a new account on Effect Forest, we used to be promoting the Binance Smart Chain wallets because they're free to create, and you don't need to get like the EOS wallet set up and everything. But this new strategy, we're going to actually like provide full-based EOS accounts for every worker, and we will be financing them ourselves, because the new technique that we have in mind is that it's actually quite cheap. We can offer like thousands of accounts for relatively little investment. I think it's maybe 10 or 20 cents per account. But we can also have a mechanism in place where, by being smart with how we assign the permissions, like of the owner of that account, we can sort of keep custody of it until it's a full-blown worker account. Like if someone registers new and they basically do one task, or they fill the human qualifier and then they sort of disappear, that might happen for a large amount of people that just want to try out Effect Network, and that would be like a big waste, because that would just waste account space until like maybe pretty significant numbers. And it would really drive up the costs for hosting free accounts. But with this new system, we are able to take back those accounts if they haven't been active. So if the account hasn't been like, we have to work on these criteria, and maybe we can later on have a discussion with the DAO as well, what would be sensible. But like, for example, if you haven't passed the human qualifier after a month of registering and you didn't do any activity, we could take back that account and recycle it to another worker. So that way we would have like free accounts, unless workers are really active on the platform, then they can get full custody of that account after a certain threshold, which makes total sense. And that's also a threshold where basically the cost of that account is kind of irrelevant compared to like the network fees that were paid and the throughput that happened for that account. So this relayer network is something pretty significant that we're working on. It's open source. It's on GitHub. And we're I think by the end of this week we will have like the testnet version of that available. I think those are the technical things we've been working on this week. The other one being like the Effect Force interface. It's also in GitHub. I think maybe by the end of the month we will have like a public version available that people can use around that time. So before then, the only way to take a look is looking in the GitHub code, or actually running it locally yourself, which we can help people with if they're interested. But we made some good progress already. So hopefully in the next weeks we will share some screenshots and community updates about this new interface as well. I think that's mainly it on the tech side. I'm thinking if I forgot something, but I think I covered most of the in progress and new projects that we're doing.
Yeah, most of the tech stuff covered.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I can take over for the non-tech stuff. So, Gabby recently published an article. Actually, we did it together last night. So, I know that it'll be coming out. So I'll be linking that in a community update that I'm gonna compile as soon as this call is over. So that's one thing, a new blog post, and it's really great. I loved this one. Every time she comes out with another one, it's like better and better. So kudos to Gabby. And the other thing today, I made a guide to help people with all the resources they need to get their EFX off of KuCoin and create their own EOS account, to walk them through how to do it, and then give them info like how to use the DEX like DeFi Box, or put their EFX to use by joining the DAO. So that's going to be coming out right after this call with the community update. I like it. I think Jesse likes it so far. Yes. Push your spacebar, Jesse.
Sorry, you did you ask something
Yeah,
to me, Rochelle?
yeah. What did you think about the guide I made today that we're gonna publish here in the next couple hours?
Yeah, it's great. I really like it. I think it's yeah, it's like visual. It explains how to get up KuCoin, why it's important. It's very straightforward. For some reason, it sounds so difficult to take self custody of your EFX tokens, but with this visual, I think it really shows the simplicity of it, and just it's a few simple steps. So yeah, well done. I we're gonna release that, I guess, today, right? So people will be able to find it in Discord.
Yeah, and then similarly too, a lot of the stuff I'm working on, like Jesse mentioned earlier, is the qualifiers and the type of tasks and things for workers. So I've been very busy with that. You guys can expect to see some new qualifiers and like tasks on the platform because we've got to get those loaded and going. So I'll have more information about those in a separate update, probably next week in next week's community update, because by then they should be hitting the platform. But the guide today I made with about KuCoin and getting your EFX, there's going to be more guides similarly styled like that for workers to help with onboarding and things too. So I've got a lot going on with trying to scalp as many taskers as I can from all the platforms, and I'm very excited about what we've got going on with that, and the new worker user interface. I've previewed it. It's very clean. It looks very professional. David's working really hard on it, and he's having great success. So I can't wait to show those screenshots when we can. But yeah, I'm gonna have that community update coming out very soon here, and it's gonna have all kinds of info about everything. I'll post it in Discord and in the DAO Telegram as well. So yeah, that's all my updates.
Sounds good. I think yeah, those were yeah, it's 20 minutes of quick updates, but I think that's mainly what we had in mind for this DAO call. Unless there's any questions, Alan came in. I don't know if there's any other topics that's on the. I didn't even check the DAO calendar, but I think there was nothing there, right, Rochelle? So then we're.
I see Lahum's typing, and hi Alan, I'm glad you joined us. Ask some questions, either type or talk. Oh, Lahum says we still need an exchange. Yes, I know. That is still on the radar.
Yeah, we do. We need an exchange. It's very true, and it's the markets are like it's not a great market and a great time to be looking for listings, but it's also extremely necessary. So we're trying to navigate these the circumstances. There's so much to think about. Like there's you know there's so many exchanges that I think are really non-beneficial at all, or that are like in danger of just closing or disappearing. There's a lot of exchanges that I think EFX might end up in a similar way as with KuCoin, where they just, you do all the efforts and requirements to list, and then they just throw you off there for vague reasons, like they do on massive scale at KuCoin now, which is getting a lot of people in a lot of trouble. We're trying to navigate all the circumstances, and we really need one. So yeah, it's an active topic, and feel free to suggest and discuss what everyone has in mind. But like it's being worked on, and there is no way to actually put a date on it. I think the importance of it is very clear to everyone. That's for sure.
You know what I envision? If this goes how we're building it to go, once we launch, the version 2.0 and it takes off how we think it's going to take off, wouldn't it be crazy if KuCoin changed their mind and decided not to unlist us? I mean, that would be great. They changed their mind before, like, was it July is like that cutoff date. That would be funny. Yeah, Alan says no rush for an exchange at the moment. We have to get the exchange right. Yes, that's a big thing too. Don't want to just jump
Yeah,
in.
and KuCoin is actually a pretty good exchange, right? Except that they're really, I think, misbehaving, like in when it comes to treating projects on their exchange that are like, because there's a lot of people. I know people are in lawsuits right now with KuCoin because they got kicked off, and then and that's also not ending in a nice way. And yeah, I do think it's a good exchange, and there's definitely a chance we at some point we'll get back there. But like, if they decide to list effect, then that's great, and they can do so. But I think we should just aim for a different route and getting up on bigger exchanges again, which is, I'm not sure what that looks like, but it's probably climbing the ladder and performing well and attracting lots of users and attracting, getting the spotlight on us. That's I think the only way to really get in a healthy way back on the top of that list.
I think so. I would just love it if we were on Kraken or Coinbase.
If we manage to get enough users that are working and using our app and website every day to move value around, I think exchanges love that concept, and they will really be attracted to that, like, to that use case. It's just it fits that model, and it's all about liquidity and convenience and users, and that's also for exchanges exactly what they care about. So if we manage to get enough users, I think there is no limit to where that, like, it would definitely be of interest for any of those bigger consumer focused big exchanges that yeah, I like those names as well.
Yep. Well, cool. Yep. That's all I have. Does anybody have anything else? Because I know Jesse has to go here in a second.
Yeah, I only have a few minutes left, but actually I also, yeah, that was everything I had on my list as well to talk about.
Okay. Well, we will be ending this call then because I don't see anybody typing in the thing. I'll post the recording and then I'll get on finishing that community update that I have in process right now. So thank you guys for showing up in the audience. Thank you, Jesse, for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks guys. Nice one. See ya in the next one, and yeah, we'll be in Discord as well to chat about anything that people want to chat about.
Yes. Yep. Perfect. Cool. Okay. Well, have a great evening, everybody. Bye bye.
Cheers, bye.